When people think about healing, they immediately tend to go to everything outside of themselves. I'm going to go to the doctor. I'm going to go to a therapist. I'm going to go to a shaman. I'm going to go to people outside of myself, places outside of myself. But the reality is, y'all, I have found that I am my own best friend and I am my best therapist. Real talk. And it's the case because self honesty, being truthful with myself, has been the doorway to my healing and growth. I had to start first with myself and be honest before I could start talking to other people to help me process what I was learning about myself, or to seek their input on different healing techniques based on what I knew. And like, they would ask me questions, but they could help me think through different answers, but I couldn't really do the healing until I faced the truth of my behavior, of my limitations, of my blocks, of my trauma. I had to start there. And from that, everything will flow. Now, does healing feel good? Eventually, but when you're kind of in the midst of it, you definitely can feel like you're getting flattened. And like, you have to be very, very, very conscious and aware that you don't allow being honest with yourself, right? And having that honest reflection and witnessing, right? Shadow witnessing, not shame, not guilt, witnessing of yourself, that you do not allow it to become shame and guilt. Y'all, like, that is where your shadow becomes actually dangerous, is when you become very shameful and you become humiliated about your shadow and you about the things of you, your wound, right? That you need to heal, your wounds that you need to heal, either they're generational or they're just things that you're going through. That's when they become dangerous. The shadow by itself is not dangerous. It's when you start hiding your wounds, when you start hiding your trauma, when you start hiding the harm that you're causing yourself and that you're causing others, when you're trying to put on a mask to depict something other than what you truly are, when you're doing things, when you're saying things, when you're thinking things, when you're manifesting things that are out of alignment of your highest self. When you turn away from the light because the dark feels more comfortable, it feels more safe, even though it's not peaceful and it doesn't bring you joy and you're not satisfied. You choose it because you don't want to go through the hard work that is necessary to be honest with yourself, to deal with the consequences of that, to do the remedial aligned action to close that loop, whatever it is, and then to grow from it. And then when you're tested on your commitment to that growth, to stand in that so you can timeline jump to a higher version of yourself. I know that that was a handful or a mouthful of what I just said, but honestly and truly, y'all, this is how healing happens at the micro level. And you are the micro. But that doesn't mean that your impact is micro. You are a node. If you do the healing work and you start healing yourself because of the planetary lattice that exists, y'all, the ether, the spirit, you are connected into everything, everyone, including Mother Gaia, Gaia Sophia, and the earth. And the more you heal, the more everything external to you changes. Your family, your home, your environment, your community, your nation. That is how you make an impact, but you have to be truthful to yourself. And you cannot include everyone in this healing journey. If there are people that you need to talk to be honest about things that you've done to harm and you need to repair those things, then Yes, you can talk to them about those particular things, but you need to be very careful about who you choose to include in your healing journey. Because there are some people who you will definitely trigger because you are healing and because they fear that you will expose their lies, that you will expose their illusions, that by being healing, by being light, because you are choosing to heal your shadow and to witness yourself, you challenge them by your state of being. You challenge them to do the same. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to stay in the shadows and not be honest with themselves about themselves. So you become enemy. And it could be that they join in groups to gang stalk you. I'm speaking from direct experience, y'all, including what happened to me with my own family. It's not always easy. So not only are you dealing with the truth and having to heal from those things and having to be tested to see your commitment so you can timeline jump, but then you also have to deal with the fallout of those around you who choose, or where they're at a spot in their journey where they choose to not be truthful, where they choose to live in this confusion and this lack of clarity and this darkness, and they choose to live from their wounds. They choose to make their identity based upon a wounded shadow, and they lack the awareness to witness themselves so that they can grow. So you have to also be prepared to deal with that when you choose to heal yourself. So you need to be honest about what hurts. What, like, are you hurting yourself? Are you hurting others? What are you avoiding? What are you tolerating in your life that you should no longer be tolerating? Are you people pleasing? Are you over giving? Or on the flip of that, are you the person that's taking too much and kind of living off of and taking others' energy? Are you somehow harming innocent people? Like, all of these things you need to think about. And it's not to shame yourself, and it's not to guilt yourself, but it's to be honest with yourself so that you can start to choose to witness and heal those things about yourself. A lot of people think the truth will break them. You know, the truth of who they are will break them. But honestly, the truth is actually what's going to set you free to really be truly who you are. You know, versus pretending to be someone that everyone else expects you to be or society expects you to be. But the truth, even though it can be painful and hard, and it does take time, it's not instant gratification. Oh, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm just going to feel great and I'm going to feel awesome and everything's just going to be better. Healing is not linear. It's actually very much spiraled. So like, if you heal one layer of yourself, then the next layer gets exposed. Like, could you imagine if you just like try to heal everything about yourself all at once? You probably wouldn't have the mental capacity to be able to take that all on. So with the spiral, even if you're healing one aspect of yourself, then you roll it back a little bit because you're learning, you're processing, you're trying to understand different parts of you. So even if you come back in the spiral, you're still going to eventually move forward. And that's how you have to think about it. Like, what can I do what's one thing about myself I can take on every day? And like, what point do I finally get comfortable that I've healed sufficiently this aspect of myself so that I can think about this other thing? Because this is truly about making you fulfilled, making you happy, making your life meaningful, living the highest version of yourself and in your highest timeline. It's your world, truly. But it really starts with truth and honesty to yourself. I hope that this message is helpful. I hope that it's relevant. And happy holidays to everyone. I still will be doing messages, but have a great weekend and stay warm for those of you who are out here in the Midwest with us freezing. Peace.